No, she opened the door, unlocked it, and I was like, oh man, she's a keeper, right? I'm like, she was the biggest whore.
So she's like, I know this. I know the trick.
She knew the trick.
I'm gonna fool this motherfucker.
She
right
knew
here.
the trick, man.
Yeah.
Turns out she was sleeping with everybody, and I was like, damn.
Best podcast in Long Beach, California. This is Tacos and Workouts.
What it is. Podcast. Yo, what it is with the best podcast in Long Beach, California. We're at it again, and we have Danny Nixxon.
What's going on, guys?
That's right. Tell him who you is.
Yeah, I'm Danny Nixxon. I'm a local comedian here in Orange County, trying to do the stand-up game and loving every minute of it. You know, just get it up there and make people laugh. That's all you can do.
Yeah, I met Danny about a month and a half ago.
Yeah, a couple months ago. Yeah, at an open mic or kind of like a mini showcase kind of thing, and yeah, you came through and we hit it off, and here we are talking.
Yeah, our good friend John. I always mess up his last
name.
Lindner.
John Lindner. John who smells funny.
Yeah, that's right. Big shout out to John out there doing his thing, man.
For sure.
And I walked up to this guy and I told him, "Are you Michael Rosenthal bomb?"
Because all Jews look alike. Apparently, I get it. You know.
I thought he was the guy from Smallville. He's since let his beard grow.
I have, yeah. Smallville was a good run, but moving on to bigger things like open mics and bars and grills. You know, we're doing it. We're living the dream.
That's where we spend our time, chasing that laughter, right?
Dude, it's addicting, dude. It really
is, right?
It is. People don't understand. It's like, why would you get up there and subject yourself to that kind of humiliation? And it is when they don't laugh, it's pretty awful. But when they're laughing, man, it's like, I've never done crack, I've never done heroin, but I would just be standing there like fucking, like, it's just addicting, dude.
That's what I tell people. To me, comedy's like crack.
Totally. Oh, 100%.
You get that pop and you get that like feeling euphoria, you get that hit, and then you're like, I want it again, and you keep on chasing it and chasing it.
Totally. And it's never enough. It's never. And it's all, for me also, it's about personal growth. It's like trying to be funnier than I was the night before, you know, and it's just fun, man. It's just
it is fun, and that's why people don't want to give up the mic, man.
Yeah. You're running the light. Yeah, but it's also like, I think I would go crazy if I couldn't express some of. I think a lot of comedians are frustrated, they're depressed. Just seems to be a general consensus among comics, but we see the world in a different way. We have to express it, otherwise I think we would go crazy, you know. So that's it. That's really kind of how it started for me. It's just, I can't hold it all in. Anymore. I gotta let it out. It's therapy.
Sometimes I get a little concerned about the sad clown paradox. Have you heard about this?
No, tell me.
Well, you know what? It's like a common thing that a lot of comedians are like sad, depressed, have drinking problems, or suicidal. Stuff like that. I think like Chris Farley is an example.
Yep.
The guy that came out on Animal House, I forget.
Yeah,
his
John
name.
Belushi.
John Belushi, right?
Yep.
There's a lot of like comedians that
Mitch Hedberg. Mitch Hedberg, right? He overdosed. I don't know if he killed himself or not, but yeah. He had
famous Robin Williams, right? He had some issues, right?
Yep.
So it's being a comedian. It's not easy, and I'm always like amazed that you have this one person who's willing to travel far distances just to try to make you laugh.
And yeah, it's like it's so funny because everyone's thinking the same thing, but it's how you say it. Like, just one simple quip can just put everything into perspective that you never really, I never thought of it that way, and that is funny, you know. And that's why I said it's kind of like therapy in a way. Like, it helps people also recognize some of like absurdities in life, and also just to, dude, life's tragic, man. Life's hard. And then you die. So if you hold it all in, if you can't laugh, you have to laugh in the face of tragedy, because otherwise there's no hope left, you know. It's like, what's the point if you can't enjoy it, you know? So sorry, I didn't mean to bring the party down.
No, not at all. We're just having a conversation, about comedy, about life and all that, and I think you're right. The whole point of this whole thing, right, why we're here is to live a happy, joyful, comedic life and stuff like that. But you mentioned you were Jewish.
I'm
or
Jewish.
You are Jewish.
Jewish is the joke. Yeah, I was born and raised Jewish. I went to like a private Jewish school until middle school, and then I was cast out into the world of public school in a predominantly black neighborhood. So it was quite the experience to go from I was just a scared Jewish little white kid growing up in Houston, Texas. Puts hair on your chest. You got to learn quick how to kind of dodge those jeers from your peers. We're rhyming today. You didn't know I was a poet also. But yes, I'm Jewish, but I and my wife's Catholic, so it didn't stick. It didn't stick, much to my mother's chagrin. But yeah, it's
So I know there's like I guess I learned this through Seinfeld, right? I think he said that Jewish people are known to be funny or something to that effect.
Yeah, I mean, how are we gonna get? We can get into I'm gonna get canceled in a minute.
Well, we could talk about whatever
No.
you want.
Well, I don't know. I think throughout history, Judaism, there's always an emphasis on education and knowledge and learning. So I think there's maybe some. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Also, like I mean, every group every minority has their own hardships that they've had to deal with, and like the Jews are no exception. So I don't know. It's like kind of like that thing that we were talking about earlier, like laughing in the face of tragedy. Like. I don't know what it is. Maybe, and I don't know. Is it a race? Is it a culture? Is it a religion? Is it all three? Like nobody knows. I don't know, but I know they asked when I had a kid. They were like, "Are you an Ashkenazi Jew?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, I was like, "What the fuck are you writing,
What's
dude?"
that?
Like,
What's that?
Yeah,
I don't
apparently,
know what that is.
So there's different types of Jews. So there's Ashkenazi, which is like Eastern European, which is like the classic Jew, like the greedy, money-hungry Jew. And then there's like Sephardic, which I think is like more like from like Persia, like the Middle Eastern kind of Jew. And then there's a couple others. There's a Cohen, which is like the high priests. And then there's I think there's maybe a fourth. Sephardic, I think, and that may be Western European. I'm not sure. Or maybe African. I'm not sure, to be honest, because I don't know everything. Okay, but yeah, I guess the Ashkenazis have throughout history they were known for some inbreeding. Sorry.
Okay.
So they have a higher rate of SIDS apparently. So I found all this out when they were taking their notes. I'm like, can you explain what? Should I be worried? So yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's something. Maybe you just need more inbreeding and get more comedians.
Yeah, because there's
step
like
up your game, people.
I was thinking about. I don't try to offend people when I do stand up or whatnot, right?
Right.
But I was thinking of a joke, and I might have heard it or something like that. But and then I saw someone perform it. I'm like, I can't use that anymore. But they were talking about because some Jewish people don't eat pork, right?
Yep. Do not. I do. But yeah, no, it's not kosher.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's an unclean animal. Is the reason.
Yeah, for sure it is. I've seen them and I'm like, you
Yeah.
know what? For a long period of time, I wouldn't eat pork either.
Yeah.
And people were like, well, why don't you? And I'm like, because no.
It rolls around in its own shit. dude.
Yeah.
Like,
And recently I have, but there was a joke that I was thinking of, or subconsciously I had heard it before. Recently I started thinking about it again and I said I'm gonna do it, but then I heard somebody say it and I go, no, I can't do it anymore. But the joke is this: it's like, are you Jewish? And he goes, yeah. And then he goes, they went out to go eat tacos or something, right? And he goes, I thought Jewish people couldn't eat pork. He goes, yeah, I can't, but for $1, I'm like, I'll eat a minute. I'm like, oh, then he must be a real Jew, right?
Deals come first.
Yeah, exactly. So he
gotta-
really is Jewish.
Yeah,
right?
I mean the kashrut laws go right out the window if it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. It's actually, I think that's written in the stipulations in Leviticus, which is where all the Jewish laws come from. But yeah, I didn't really grow up like I was like my family was more like the rebellious Jews. We didn't keep kosher. We didn't, all that stuff. But my mom wanted me to have a solid Jewish education. But like I said, I married a Catholic, so it wasn't all a good investment, I guess, on her end. But
But let's talk about the comedy. How'd you get involved in the comedy?
I've always had a performance background. I love to perform as a young age. I studied theater in high school. I'm not gay, I promise.
I'm married.
I'm married. And in high school, I started working at a comedy club in Houston. I'm originally from Houston. I worked at a comedy club called the Laugh Stop, which isn't there anymore. It closed down a while ago. But I was a doorman, and I would start doing the open mics, and I got to see all the amazing comedians come through, like Dave Chappelle, Mitch Hedberg, Jim Brewer, Jeff Dunham, Pablo Francisco. I mean, everybody who was anybody in 1998 to 2000 like was coming through. It was awesome. So I learned a lot, and I just wanted to be up there. I grew up watching Monty Python and Saturday Night Live and Mr. Bean. You know, some British humor. My parents are from South Africa originally, so they kind of have that British humor a little bit going on. So I was introduced to some of that. Mel Brooks, you know, all that stuff was just, I idolized it, man. I wanted to be on Saturday Night Live, and then when I came out here for college to study film, and I got into music, and I did music for a long time, and I abandoned comedy. And only till recently, you know, and then I had kids, a career, and, you know, all this stuff. And I'm finally in a place where my boys are a little older, and I had an opportunity to start doing stand-up again, and I took it. So here we are.
It's never too late to start doing comedy.
It's not, yeah. Apparently, like Rodney Dangerfield started when he was like 51 or something like that. I don't know if that's true.
I think it was in his 40s.
40s. Yeah. So, yeah, it's not too late. And that's what I love about comedy too. Like, you can see, like, you walk in and there's like some random dude sitting there. You're like, who the, like, you almost like you feel bad, but there's like an immediate judgment of appearance. You're like, and then he goes up and he just murders the room.
Fucking kills it. Yeah.
Just kills it, and you're like, okay, like, it's anybody's game. Like, you don't have to. Doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. Like, if you can make people laugh, man, that's all that matters. And that's, people want it. People are looking for that connection. You know, like, there's something. Yeah, there's something special about it, you know.
Yeah, you know what? I wanted to be a comedian for such a long time, but I didn't have the ball to do it at the time and whatever, and something just clicked, right? And then I'm always like in a race in time, right? I'm running out of time. I gotta catch up. I'm 20 years behind all these guys, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like just sprinting, and people see me doing my thing, and then I remember that Dangerfield started when he was 40, right? So I'm all like, you have all the time in the world. Just be healthy, concentrate on doing that, and you'll eventually get there. But I walked into rooms, like you just mentioned, I see an old man in the room, and I'm like, man, what this guy, and he fucking kills it. And I mean, like, man, it's like, there's levels in comedies, right?
For sure.
And I'm like, and I everybody measures themselves up on comedy. Let's just be honest. It's just a stupid thing that everybody does, right?
Yeah.
The bad thing that comes from it is some people get bitter and they say, oh, fuck that guy or whatever. There's no reason for that.
Yeah.
So when I see somebody,
it's something to aspire to.
Yeah, exactly. When I see somebody that's just a lot better than I am, I look at him, I go, wow. And I'm all, good for him.
Good,
right?
exactly. Yeah, he's putting the work, and he's doing something right, you know. And it's like, you got to learn from it. You know, you can't you just learn as much as you can. And you're right. I mean, we all kind of compare ourselves to some degree to other comedians, but for me, my main goal, I try to be mindful, is I'm just trying to compare myself to me, how my last set, you know, or how I did, where I was last month, or, you know, or all, you know, all the new jokes that I've written. And that's the only, and then you just keep doing it. It's a hustle. I mean, it is like everyone. This is that classic saying: it takes 7 years to become an overnight success, or something like that. You know, give or take a couple of years. But it's true. You just got to put in the work, and you got to keep doing it, and then things happen. Because, and a lot of times, you know, I think some guys, like, they'll get there, and then they just get frustrated and they stop. But they were like right there. You know, like, just
they were at the door.
They were at the door, man. And you just can't stop. You just can't stop. And I say that's only a few months back in the game, like who the fuck are you? But it's true. Like, I don't think I'll ever stop now. My wife, I don't know if my wife is happy to hear that, but I love it, dude. It's,
well, your comedy stylings, we have different styles. Mine is a little bit more crass, more you know, out there, and some of the stuff I talked to, and then you went up there, and yours was like semi-clean, if not, it was pretty clean, more or less.
Yeah, it depends. I started off kind of being a little, I wouldn't say raunchy. I don't try to go the raunchy route for sure, but I think I try to push the limit of there's a cancel culture out there. You know, people are afraid to say things, and I'm sometimes afraid to say things, but for the most part, I think my goal is to just speak the truth. And if it's funny, it's funny. And if people get upset, you know, sorry. I don't know. Like comedy, that's what comedy exists for, is to speak the truth. And so that's kind of where, like I said, I have to express. A lot of it kind of comes just from the state of the world, you know, like just how insane things are and how stupid some things are. And I just have to call it out. So
I like the way you do it. It's like kind of build up to it. You build up to it. You put it in their face, and then you kind of take like a sidestep, and then it's like, I didn't see that coming, right? As opposed to how I do it, I'm like, dick in your face, and then it's like, some people just like it like straight up, but your approach also works, and I'm like, so when I saw you, I was like, huh? So you don't have to be so in your face to be funny, right? It's like you could just build it up, and I was like, I like this guy.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. You know, I'm still new. I'm still new to the game, man. So I'm learning a lot. Trying to trim the fat, just get to the punchline as quickly as you can. And then the best part is, like, what I have fun with is I love the process, because you have a funny joke. Everyone's got funny jokes, and you try to explain it, and it's just not funny. You know, so it's like, how do I say it in a funny way? And usually the first moment of that punchline is correct, and then you got to just work backwards. And it's like, how quickly can I get there? And then the best part is, once you make the first punchline, it's like I'm punching it up and all the tags you can throw at afterwards, and then it's just fun. It's just there's no end until the show actually does end. You have to go home
until you get the light and get off.
Yeah, get off the stage. You're bombing. Get down.
And sometimes the joke writes itself, right?
Dude, yeah, man. Like a lot of my jokes have actually just come from real life situations. Like you don't like sit around like, what would be funny? Like something happens and it's funny, and then you're like, oh shit, that was funny. I have to tell people about it. You know, it's like, dude, the funniest thing happened to me today. Like I have this joke. The joke wrote itself. Here's the joke. So I was angry. I was driving, and I got to a stoplight, and there was a car in front of me, and there was a bumper sticker on the window, and it said, "I hope everything goes good for you today." And my initial reaction was just like, oh man, if I would just lay down my horn, be fucking hysterical. Like that was my like, to just blast the guy. I didn't, obviously, but that was the joke. And so it's, you know, and you think you're gonna be like, I should be positive, I should take his message and turn my life around, and instead it was like, fucking go, like I didn't learn my lesson, so and that joke wrote itself, and it's one of my new favorites. So
no, I love that joke when I saw you doing it, and I was like, who hasn't thought the exact same thing, right?
Totally.
And and you could like there's many different possibilities for, and then he has that, and the irony is he has that bumper sticker, but he's fucking looking at his phone.
Yeah.
And and he's
totally.
And then you honk at him.
He honked the guy just in front of him too. Like, yeah, that's the thing too. Like, because it kind of started. I haven't done this bit or not, but I had a joke about the coexist bumper stickers. The people.
What's that?
Coexist. So like, there's these bumper stickers, and it literally spells out coexist, but it's with all like religious symbols. So there's like this is the moon from Islam for the C, and then like the Star of David is like the X, and like the T in Christianity is the T for coexist, and it's like, we should all love one another, which is, I'm down with the message. Of course we should. Like, I don't hate against anybody, but I find that those people to be absolutely just the biggest pieces of shit you've ever met in your life. They're like, peace and love, and then like they're like, ugh, fucking white people. You're like, how do you like that disconnect? Like it just it blows my mind, and it's so prevalent, and I haven't done that joke yet, and that's kind of where I took it with the honking thing. It's like,
you're like, what did I do?
What did I do? Like, like, practice what you preach, bro. Because
it's like, it's your fault. You're white.
Yeah, it's like, coexist, but fuck white people. You're like, no, you're so close. You're so close.
Oh man,
it's weird to me. I don't know.
I used to have a Christian girlfriend who was like super spiritual, right? And she was a trip because she would always be mad about everything. And then one time she's like, I'm gonna pray, and I'm like, okay. And then she was praying for, I don't know, 20 minutes or something, and I'm like, damn, she's really going at it. She's on her Bible and whatnot, right? And then afterwards I go, so what do you want to eat? I'm like, whoa, you just finished praying, bro. I'm like, did Jesus rat me out? Did he tell you what I do when you're not around?
He's like, check out his text threads. Yeah, I'm surprised she wasn't like, praying for somebody. Dear Jesus, please make sure that Jason comes down with a terrible affliction and dies within 6 days. Like, I don't know why she has a southern accent, but yeah, like people like pray for harm on other people. Like that'd be the epitome of that what's the word? Hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy. So what I did, she's like, well, maybe you should try praying more often. Blah, blah, blah. I go, I'm gonna pray right now. As a matter of fact, I go, dear Jesus, help me out with this guy, with this chick over here. She's bonkers, right? She's losing her marbles. Whatever happened. Oh man, that pissed her off.
You start praying for your life at that point, dude.
and that relationship didn't work out.
That's surprising. I'm surprised to hear that. Yeah, it's like people just like there's a lot of people are just so self-unaware. It's amazing, and we've all been there. We've all been in, when you try to turn left and then you're stuck in the lane and everyone's like honking at you because you can't turn. You're like, well, it's the guy in front of me, and like, you're like, fucking go. But then you're in there and you're like, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. And like, we all go through the same shit, but at the same time, there is a lot of stupidity out there, and I'm constantly like, 100. I'm like so amazed that everything works, but then I'm also amazed that that everything hasn't like completely just fallen apart. You know what I mean? It's like humanity is so incredible of the things we've done, but also you're just like, how are we still going? Like how you look around and you're just like, what is going on? I don't know.
It's funny you should say that because I was just driving down here and I was thinking to myself, like, I guess like just looking at what people do, not too long ago, people were concerned, oh man, everybody's dirty, we're going to die, we're going to catch the virus and whatnot. And I started to think to myself, it's like, we're so fragile, to some degree, but we're not. And I'm just like thinking like, man, how are we still all here, right?
How are we still here? How are we not, blowing ourselves up at this point? Or how, like, the bridges are well, in fairness, some of the bridges are starting to collapse, but like you would think like tomorrow, like they're all just gonna collapse because, like, I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna be more positive because humanity is great. We gotta laugh at it, but
do you drink?
Not that much. No. I mean, I'll have a beer on occasion, or I'll maybe before I go up, I'll have a beer, but I'm not a big drinker. No, sir.
Oh, because sometimes it's like, man, people just need to have a beer and relax, man. Just take a chill,
right,
and whatnot, right? Because a lot of people don't know how to do that.
Oh, I didn't say I'm straight edge, but I just don't drink. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, but no, I we all have our ways to cope, to self-medicate. We'll say that.
I was sober for 4 years.
You are?
I was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, no, it was a good thing. I needed to take a long break, and now I recently started drinking again. And you know what? But I don't drink like, I drink maybe like once a month, maybe.
That's good. Yeah.
And then I don't get totally like wasted.
Yeah.
I only have like 6 or 8 beers, and I just cap it off, and I'm like, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I noticed that I needed it. Like after. Like I weighed myself down from drinking, right? It took 3 years to stop, and then the 4 years sober. So I have a total of like 7 years, right? That and then I started like drinking 1 beer at a time, half a beer, to try to like introduce it back into my life, right? But when I wasn't drinking, I was weak. I didn't feel right, and I'm not thinking, could that have been like withdrawals or like, but for so long, right?
Yeah.
Once I started drinking, I regained all my energy back and almost all my strength back. So it's like almost like medicine, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I have like 25 years drinking, and then to stop.
Yeah.
And recently I started like drink. I feel really strong because of the drinking, but I don't drink.
So the 2 a.m. is like, the 2 a.m. last call is your kryptonite. Is what you're saying.
Man, sometimes I would, I was a real like bad drinker. Like I would go out drinking, and then I would have like a 12-pack at home waiting for me.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
yeah. I mean, when it becomes a crutch versus like just a slight release, because you have to really, you you have to laugh, but you also let's be honest, you gotta take the edge off a little bit. You know,
I was like super high functioning though. Like I would go to work every single fucking day. Speechless.
I got nothing, dude. Yeah, stumped.
No, but
that's good though. I mean, you know, you
drink-
finding the balance. That's what it's all about, balance, you know, and everything in moderation, as they say, you know.
Yeah, but I don't drink when I go on stage though.
You don't at all?
Ever.
Okay.
I'll like, let's say I hardly ever drink. Like if I go out and do a comedy show, right?
Yeah.
Unless if it's in my backyard, you know, then I'll drink. But if it's not, then I don't see myself driving all the way to Hollywood and doing a show and then drink and then drive all the way home. It's
Right,
like
right.
that's
So you won't even have like a beer just to kind of like
Nothing.
okay, cool.
So and usually when I do drink, I'm at the Laugh Factory in Long Beach,
Okay.
and either I'm there to watch one of my friends perform, or I just finish performing myself.
Okay.
And then I have a couple beers and then I go home.
Why Laugh Factory? Why? Because it's closer to home, or?
Yeah, because that's my backyard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? I recently performed at the Laugh Factory,
Yeah.
and man, it's just
It's iconic, dude. That's awesome.
You know what? On this very show right here, Tacos and Workouts, I started doing my interviews outside of the Laugh Factory.
Really? That's how you started?
Yeah, like I was doing an interview with my friend Vince Royale in front of the Laugh Factory, and then I looked back and I said, one day I'm gonna be performing in there, and then it happened. You
Dude,
know,
manifesting, dude.
Yeah,
I'm all about the manifest.
yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm writing my manifesto right now. No, I'm kidding. The secret they call it. Yeah, you got to visualize it, you got to believe it, and like you can see it, and it literally manifests itself into. We can get real deep now. Like your words, your actions, your thoughts all eventually become reality. And I say this to myself because I'm terrible at it, because I do like to get bogged down in shit. But if you can visualize what you want and how you want it and how you see it, I do believe it will. It's like prayer. I'm not religious, but like there's something to it. It's like watch your words become your actions. Guard your heart, guard your thoughts, because if you're just constantly surrounding yourself with negative energy, you're just gonna be attracting negative energy. So it's the manifest, dude. And I feel like I'm starting to see some things come to fruition, and like, I'm gonna do this and it's gonna be awesome, and I can see it, and and things are starting to, I don't know, we'll see. I'm excited, and even if it doesn't, like, just the journey, man. And meeting cool people along the way and like-minded people and just laughing, and dude, that's all you can do.
And how have you used the secret to manifest your success in certain things that you do?
Well, there's no success yet. It's coming. It's coming. But no, it's weird because I don't want to make it sound like boastful or egotistical, because it's not that at all. But it's just like, I want to. It's like you visualize, like, I'm going to open for so and so, and I'm gonna like you said, I'm gonna be on that stage. I'm gonna win that competition, or I'm gonna, whatever it is. Those are the things that I'm trying to visualize, and I can see it, and like it's hard to explain, but I feel like it's still a long, it's years, if anything, away, but I can see it, and it's just, I'm just hopeful that it's just going to keep getting closer and closer as I keep moving forward and keep manifesting, so it's funny because you go to a psychologist and they'll say, like, if you could have anything you wanted in the world, if you could visualize the life you wanted, what would you do? And you know what, it's just weird because I feel like a lot of people, and myself included, have never really asked that question to themselves. And it's like, because we feel like maybe we don't deserve it. It's like, oh, I'll never have that. Well, because I'll never have it. But that's the wrong attitude. If you're like, no, I can and I will have it, and that's what I want, then it will miraculously happen for you. I know people who I've done that with jobs and stuff like that. You I got a new job years ago, but like I was unhappy at my work, and I found this job, and I was like, dude, that job is mine. That job is mine, and I got the job. and it wasn't just like I'm gonna just go out and do nothing and to get it, but like I believed it and I felt it and I got there. That's like a very small example, but I've got friends too that I've got a buddy and he's like manifesting and he'll put a photo of like this castle in Europe, and I'm like, okay, let's
Relax, Bruce Wayne.
Let's relax, yeah, dude. Like, but at the same time, I'm just like, why not?
For sure.
Why not? Why is it impossible? It's not impossible, But I think we all are our own worst enemies, and we put our own stumbling blocks in front of ourselves. So, if you can remove those barriers and be like, you know what, this is what I want, and think about it, this is the life I want, this is what I want to do, then there's nothing stopping you. There really isn't, and it sounds so cliche and everyone says it, but like, man, if you just put in the work and you visualize and you see it, dreams do come true.
If you want it bad enough and you try hard enough, right?
Or you could blow Harvey Weinstein and just go straight to the top. That's another option.
Man.
That's option 2, but he's in jail, so I'm gonna have to find somebody else.
Hey man, I know I see some people like out here in kind of what we do, and I'm like, man, the shady sides of comedy, acting, singing, all that stuff. Like I see it now. I'm like, oh, okay, I see how he was able to do what he did, man. Because I see some shady ass people. I'm like, man, you want it so bad, guys and women. That I'm like, you're the kind of fool that would do something like that.
Oh, totally. And yeah, I mean, all the stuff they say about Hollywood, it's run by the Jews. I'm sorry for no.
What do you call that? A callback, right? Is that called a callback?
We're bringing it full circle. Yeah, a callback. But there are a lot of Jews in Hollywood. There are, and I don't know why that is. I don't know why that's kind of been our area. The Jews and the gays, apparently. That's what
that's what runs it.
That's who runs Hollywood. But and there's still obviously there's great people in Hollywood that are trying to just like be artistic and make things happen to entertain people, but there's definitely a dark side. And I think that's in any business for sure, but Hollywood for sure. People are way more willing to sacrifice their values and sell their soul in many ways to get what they want. And like I said, I'm not religious, but sometimes I do think the devil is real. I think the devil may be real, and he's like, you can have anything you want, but you gotta play the game.
Yeah, it manifests itself in different forms. I would believe, right?
Yeah, it's almost like a shortcut. It's like you can have it, but you didn't manifest it. You didn't put in the work, and instead you're gonna suffer, or you got to do something to shame yourself in order to get to the top. You have to sacrifice something. But there's a good sacrifice and there's a bad sacrifice. You know what I mean? Like if it's sacrificing your time and your energy and your mental health to make something happen, I think that's definitely more positive than just like, all right, yeah, I'll suck your dick or whatever you have to do or to lower yourself to achieve it. Like, how satisfied are you going to be after the fact?
Yeah, like I see like a lot of TikTokers, men that dress up in women's clothing or put on wigs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think to myself, like, no offense to the people that do it, like whatever, that's your thing, it's not my business. But I'm thinking like I wouldn't trick myself out like that, like for views, like to try to pump yourself up. And it's for two reasons, right? It goes against like my nothing against the that community. You know
Sure.
what I'm talking about.
Sure. Don't cancel JR, please, guys. Please, he's a good dude.
I'm brutally honest, man. I speak the truth, and you know what? I give my opinion, and if that offends people, it's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, so it could be right, it could be wrong.
Hey.
Doesn't matter. But two things. It's like that goes against with something that I would do, right? Like I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do that, right?
Right.
But then to put the back into it, I think it is disrespectful for that community. Think about it. It's like, okay, so you're kind of mocking that community, and that's offensive within itself.
Right.
So it's kind of, that's like the secondary reason why. Well, for the first reason is why, because it goes against like what I wouldn't do that to myself, and then the second thing is making fun of that community. So it's kind of like you're not really winning. And I think it's like a cheap laugh almost.
Yeah,
right?
it's like inauthentic. Yeah, for sure. It's like, yeah, it's exploiting either the latest trend or someone else's pain. I feel the same way. Like my heart goes out to anybody who has struggling with feeling like they're not who they should be. But at the same time, we're really going to get canceled now. I'm kidding. It's there's still truth. There's ultimate truth, and I think that's a big thing for me. Why I get so upset about it is because it's they're trying to make you believe a non-truth, an obvious non-truth, and if people can believe non-truths, then we're not going to end up in a good place, because then the truth becomes irrelevant, and if you don't have a standard objective truth, which obviously there's opinions, but there is also objective truth. It's sunny right now. We are on the beach. It's not like, well, I identify as we are actually, in a forest in the middle of Montana. You'd be like, well, but we're not though. And then people get upset for saying that we're not. And so that's, I think, a lot of my frustration comes from. But again, do what you want to do in the privacy of your own home, or live how you want to live, and that's your thing. And I've got my thing, and we should be able to respect that and give each other space to do that. But it seems like sometimes you're not allowed to even express your opinion.
You can't, man. And it's like people could call themselves I always say Pokemon for some reason. I don't know why. It's just like, to me, that's a funny word. But people could say, oh, I'm a Pokemon, right? But the reality is, like, you're not.
Yeah, but
right?
You're Gary.
Exactly. You're Gary. So it's like, okay, you say you're a Pokemon. I accept that you believe that you are a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. But I know you're not. No, but I am. And it's like, it's just, I'm like, okay, you can't.
And then you start hurting their feelings.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they get emotional, and then you feel bad because people don't like confrontation generally. They don't like to upset other people. So you usually back down, and then you usually apologize. Not you. People would usually back down and they apologize, but then when you apologize, you've lost.
I don't know, man. It gets too crazy where I just say, like, I tend not to have those conversations with people.
Yeah.
Luckily, I haven't had those conversations with people.
Yeah. Where it gets like uncomfortable, kind of like.
Well, no, it's just, to me, it's like to me, I'm kind of like old school, so I'll be like, no mames, like, fuck, like, get the fuck out of my face.
I don't speak Spanish.
Like,
What'd you say?
No mames is like, get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Like
no
it's like a noun, right?
Okay.
That you could use like almost for anything.
Okay.
Right. It's like, forget about it, right?
Okay.
Some different interpretation.
So it's my sugar.
Is that what it is?
That's Yiddish right there. It's my sugar.
So I would be like, no mames, right? Like, leave me alone, fuck off, or whatever. And that's just kind of what I do when people like annoy me and stuff like that, or they're bringing me to like a different energy level.
Yeah.
I just say, like, I'm out of here, right?
Yeah.
I try to cruise like on a nice wavelength, right?
For sure.
Like, people like to roll in there's a balance in life. Some people like to, from the scale from 0 to 100, right? Some people like to be on 0, totally depressed, miserable all the time, right? Some people like to be at 100, which, like, they're like all over the place, they're up and down, right?
That's usually the cocaine, but go on.
Yeah, like they're either high functioning, like all this, all that, all gang, all drug, all rock or whatever, right? Me, I like to cruise at 50, so I'm like just flying right in the balance, right? And when people start like deviating me from it, I just don't like, I don't have time for this.
You a Libra?
No, I'm not. I'm actually a Leo.
Leo? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Lion.
Yeah.
Grr.
Yeah, it's well, what's there's a saying that I heard. I think I heard it through Dave Chappelle. It says and I know I'm gonna fuck this up because it says what is it? No one's gonna understand the. Okay, whatever. I told you. So the dude wants to be as calm as fucking possible, right? He wants to be the lamb, but when he's fucked with, he becomes the lion, right?
Right.
And that's just like who I am. I'm like, I'd rather not, whatever. But then when people fuck with me,
yeah,
it's like, because people see me and they're like, oh, look, he smiles a lot. Yeah, he's a good guy. Oh,
yeah.
Wow. He plays a character. Oh, he's a comedian. Oh, he's a pushover. Like, and I'm like, no, there's a dark side. And then when it comes out, you don't like it. So it's just, that's why I'm like, just let me fucking chill,
Yeah, it's like speak tall. What is it? Speak calmly, but carry a big stick.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's you should be capable of you gotta stand up for yourself, because you're right. People will walk over you. But then back to your thing about energy, though, about like, you just trying to, you vibe with people, you don't vibe with people. Like, have you ever, I think about this a lot. You ever just, growing up or even now, you meet somebody and you just don't like them. You have no idea why. You have no idea why. They didn't do anything to you, but you just see them and there's just like this, like, I don't like that person. or there's just an immediate connection too. There's just like, hey man, we just click like that. I think, they say the universe is like humming and it's vibrating and all this stuff. We all have our own vibrations. And, you put I'm also a musician, but, you don't even have to be a musician. If you play a wrong note in a song, everyone knows. It just doesn't work, right? It's like that sounded off.
Like that didn't.
Those two
belong
vibrations
there, right?
do not align at all. And I think people have their own vibrations, and some people connect and some people don't. It's like opposite and negative. The two negatives are going to repel each other. The opposite and the negative, the positive and the negative are going to attract. So there's that. And then the same thing. Even with music, you put on a song with somebody, dude, this song is my jam. You put it on, and then they're just like, it's just like it's like you're wearing a vest. It's just like the music notes just bounce off your chest. It does nothing to you. And then you put on another song, and it's just like, it just grabs you, and like you just whatever vibration or frequency is putting out, you resonate with it. So I think there's something there about people too. That's why people get along and why people don't.
And why is that? That's weird that you would say that, right? Because it has happened to me in the past where I just meet somebody, but it's usually like there's substance behind it, right?
Sure.
It's like you could tell that this person has like ill intentions towards the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the world has wronged me, therefore I hate everybody, and you could kind of see it. So those are the people that I meet. I'm like, I don't want anything to do with them,
right?
But how is it that we're able to like identify that? That's crazy, right?
We're it's like something that we're not. It's something subconscious, I mean, nobody really knows what life is and what we're doing here, but there's something there. You can't put your finger on it, but I think there's a lot of truth to that. Even like, you're walking on the street, and even if it's not just like a regular person with bad energy, it's like you meet someone that's just like unstable. You ever met somebody that's unstable? They have this like energy that's just like, dude, like it's just uncomfortable from the moment you meet them. Like, how do you can't explain it, but you feel
it. It's like
it
in the air, right?
You feel it.
Yeah.
It's like, when a dog, it was like, say when a ghost or something, your hair stands on end. Like, there's something there that we don't know how to fully explain or explain.
It's like some shit in nature, right?
Something for sure.
Like it's kind of like when you like, for the most part, like sometimes. I don't know if you've ever been bit by a dog or chased by a dog, but sometimes you usually see a dog and it's like, oh, that's a dog, right? Walking around or whatever, right? But every once in a while, like you'll see a dog and he looks at you a certain way, you already know what he's going to do. He's going to chase you, try to bite you, whatever, right? And I guess like humans, it's something in the like primal or something. You kind of like
for sure,
sense it, right?
There's definitely something primal. It may even be associated with our hair. Like, it's funny. People think I'm ridiculously crazy, but like, the movie Avatar, the aliens, like they're connected with their hair, and I think he probably borrowed that idea from. There's a lot of religions out there where hair is sacred. The Sikhs and Indians in India, like they don't cut their hair. The men don't cut their hair. There's something special about the hair. And it's the story of Samson. Is it Samson and Delilah?
Samson. Yeah.
Cut his hair. He lost his strength. A lot of Native Americans, Indians, they had long hair. There's a better connection to nature and the environment when your hair is long, and that's why your hair stands up on your head or on the back of your neck. I think there's a lot that we don't know, but that's for another time.
All right, we're gonna take a quick little break and we'll be right back. Órale, como this is me, Little Hater. And guess what, Doug? This podcast is brought to you by Tapatio Nuts. You had me at hola. So go out and get some of these nuts. These Tapatio Nuts. What it is. Podcast. All right, thank you, everybody. Big shout out to our sponsor, Tapatio Nuts. Listen, man, if you haven't had your Tapatio Nuts yet, you can find them at Amazon and Walmart. And we have other Tapatio different products. We have the Tapatio Spice, and we have the Tapatio Ketchup. That's right, the Tapatio Ketchup. I was the first one to bring it to you right here on this very podcast. And if you haven't tried it, You're missing out. Get it on Amazon.com. You're gonna love it.
I love Tapatio, dude. I love hot sauce, man. I'm like Hillary Clinton. I don't leave home without it. You know, she keeps it in her bag apparently. So that's what she said.
Does?
That's what she said. She was on some.
Tapatio?
I don't know if it was top. She didn't say the specific brand, and I don't know if they want to be. I don't know if they want to be associated with Hillary, but yeah, she was on some podcast and radio show. They're like, "What's something where you don't go anywhere without?" She's like, "Hot sauce," and everyone was like, "Really?"
Where's Hillary from though? Nebraska,
she's
Arkansas.
From Arkansas.
Okay.
So maybe in the South, I like hot sauce. In the South, I love hot sauce. Put that shit on everything. So Tapatio is like. It's like a gateway drug, dude. It's the best, and it's always there for you. It's like a warm bed, just ready to.
And it's here in LA, man.
Oh, they do. They make it here.
Yeah, if I have it correct, to my understanding, in 1970s, the dude that started it, it's right here somewhere in LA. He started and then now it's became like a worldwide juggernaut, man.
Dude, it's solid, dude. They make a quality product.
Now check this out, man. I haven't done it yet. Well, I did do it, but not officially. Instead of using regular ketchup on my burgers and on my hot dogs, I used the
Tapatio ketchup.
Oh, it has a kick, bro.
Yeah,
but it's a good kick.
Okay,
they got it just right, man.
Okay.
It's a Goldilocks ketchup.
I'm gonna have to try that. Yeah, I seriously do love hot sauce, and I love Mexican food, like a good wet burrito, dude. And every time I go to a Mexican restaurant, I'm like, can you give me like real like something like. Burn me, because I go, you know, and then all the Mexican cooks, they come out, they're like, look at this fucking gringo, like we're gonna fucking blow his asshole out, and then I'm just like, they're waiting for this like a big reaction. I'm like, it's all right, yeah.
So you can eat the hot sauce.
Oh, dude, I go, yeah, like habanero is like my jam. Like, I mean, I'm not. People can do like the Carolina Reapers and the Ghost chilies. Like, for me, I think that's like too hot, where it just becomes. I like the flavor too. I like great kick, but you gotta have good flavor too. So, but yeah, dude, hot sauce, man. Habanero. Hey, Tapatio, if you can work on some habanero brand spices in there, dude, I'm 100% on board.
I know that would be.
I'll be slinging that shit.
Yeah, you know, maybe I need to set a boardroom meeting with them and talk to them on certain ideas.
Get in front of the board, get a little slide deck going on. Show some numbers with some infographics. Be like, people love habanero. They love hot sauce. They love Tapatio. It's a marriage that's been waiting for it to happen.
You're missing out on this big market.
Yeah, huge market share. Huge market share.
Let's talk about the social media, man.
Okay.
Well, how big is your social media following?
It's pathetic, dude. I have less than 100 followers, but I only started
on what platform?
On Instagram.
Okay.
I am on Twitter, but I think I'm probably shadow banned or something. Nothing's going on there. I do have a YouTube. Nothing's going on there. Most of my stuff's on Instagram. It's kind of just I like being on Instagram. I think it's a great way to connect. That's kind of just where I'm at, Instagram, but very low following count. I've only had the account for a few months now, but I don't post as often as I should to pick up that algorithm, I guess, or they just don't like me. I don't know, but I'd like to do more. I'm trying to post more, and I like doing stories and reels. Like, I think that's kind of fun. I have a design background, so to try to make those things look and have fun with it and be creative is a fun little outlet.
Well, it kind of doesn't matter, and I'll tell you why. I've been doing this for 4 years now, right? And man, I was like always busting my head, like, how are these people doing it? And the cat's out of the bag. And you know what? A lot of people pay for for a following, right?
Yep.
And I just noticed how like
it's fake. Ahmed in India or wherever. And
exactly.
He's got like 30,000 accounts, and he just
And he just flips a button, and then suddenly your account grows from 100 to 10,000, right?
Yeah, and you got like 100,000 followers and like 2 likes, and you're like, all right, I see what's going on here. But yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I mean, there's some people that have like 0 social media presence, and they're killing it, and they're at every club, you know. So there's a flip side, because I've also heard that like a lot of bookers, they don't even want to look at you if your follower count is low. But then at the same time, you hear people with, again, like 100,000 followers, and like nobody comes to their shows. So It does and it doesn't matter. Like
I experienced that recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, where I got to see like a comic that has like 100,000 followers on Instagram and on TikTok, God knows how many, right? And then I show up, and then they're like, "Oh, so and so's here," and I was like, "Oh, wow." And then I'm like, "Well, let's see what they got." And then they're like, "That person said only 2 people came to see my show." Like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, you have like 100,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why isn't this place like sold out?
Yeah.
So the numbers don't translate. I'm like,
They don't.
I'm like, wow. Last time I had my show, I had like 20 people come out. So it's like,
Yeah.
it doesn't. What I'm trying to say is that it's not as real as people think. The numbers don't really mean anything, and just because you have numbers doesn't translate people actually going out to see you.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's true. And I'm trying to do it organically. Like everyone that I do meet or is a follower is either somebody that saw my reel and liked it, or I met them at a club or at a show or something like that. And I think that's the way to do it, because there's a face and a name to the person. You shook their hand, and then the best part though is you can keep that communication going very easily. Just with private messaging and all that stuff. So I'm trying to do it organically and authentically. So you won't find me using one of them view farms. Shit.
I guess what I'm trying to like inform is like our listeners right here on Spotify on the What It Is podcast, and our followers on Tacos and Workouts on YouTube. What I'm trying to tell people is, because I know it's frustrating for everybody who's trying now. Everybody now is either a podcaster or a content creator or whatever, a celebrity in their own mind, in their own head, right? And there's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of depression. There's been a lot of content creator suicides, and we've covered, I think, a couple of them. But I'm just here to tell people that it's not real.
It's not real. Not at all.
And it's like people pay for stuff and stuff like that. I just, what, if I could actually even tell people, like, what, it's not something that's worth getting into, right? I'm like you. I want to grow organically, right? So if I have 10 followers or 100,000 followers, at the end of the day, I want to know that actual human bodies press that follow button,
right? And that you can still engage with them.
Exactly. And it's like, because this is how I look at it, bro. Buying fake followers is like breast implants. Sure, they're nice to look at.
Yeah.
But everybody knows that they're fake, and you paid for them.
Yeah. Dude, nothing like a big pair of tits.
They're nice to look at,
dude.
Right?
It's like, have you noticed? This is something else. I haven't done this at all. I'm still working on it. But have you ever just been like, tits are like a magnet, dude, for men and women. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Like, boobs walk in, like you can't even help it. And then you ever talk to somebody, like a woman with like big boobs, and you're just trying with all your might to stare in their face and their eyes, but your eyes they're like being pulled down, and you're fighting, and then you're in your head, you're like, oh my god, I'm staring at them, but you're not. But you in your head, you're worried, Or I love it when like you see like like a girl, and like she's attractive, not attractive, doesn't matter, but she's got a big pair, and she's got like she had a tattoo across her chest, and it was like old English, and I'm trying to read it, and I'm like, and then she looks at me, I'm like, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm not staring at your tits, I'm just trying to read your terrible life choice there.
Terrible life choice.
Terrible life choice. Or sometimes I've even been caught, like not caught, but I found myself staring at like some 65-year-old granny's like boobs. I'm like, and I'm not even. It's nothing sexual at all. You're just like, there's something. It's like a magnet. I don't know what it is.
It's primal, man. You used to like be like breastfeeding when we were kids. You see like exposed titties, and you're like, you know what? You want to put them in your mouth, man.
Everyone loves a good pair of mammaries.
That's right. Those memories, you got to get the substance, the nourishment.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what? I've been caught a couple times staring, right? And you know what? I'm not. You know what? If I peeped too long, maybe you had them out. That's why I looked at them. It's not that, because trust me, if somebody's completely covered up and not dressed in a certain way, then like, and it looks respectable, then I don't.
Right.
But if you're like walking around like and with your butt hanging out and your titties popping out, I'm gonna look.
You gotta look. I mean, it's like the Chappelle has that joke. Like, you're not like, hey, just because I'm dressed this way does not make me a whore. It's like, well, no, but you are wearing a whore's uniform, so but no. Oh man, I was gonna say something. I lost it.
Talking about the exposure and the bad decisions. Of the,
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, they don't have that problem. ISIS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't have that problem.
Okay.
They just cover them up. Just full burqa, full body burqa. No problem. You can't see anything. I think that's why they do it.
My counter to that, if someone were to tell me, like, oh, why are you looking at me? I'll be like, well, first of all, right? Oh, because it happens at the gym a lot. Some women like dress up like very skimpy in the gym, and then they work out like, come on, you know what you're doing it, right? And then you record yourself, and you're like, Then they post
Stop
it.
looking at me.
Yeah, exactly, right? And I'm out thinking, okay, it's funny because you're posting this stuff to be on Instagram.
Yeah, you're looking for attention, obviously.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you have no problem sharing this picture on Instagram,
right,
where it's gonna go out for the possibility of millions of people to watch it.
right.
But the one guy who's standing next to you in real life,
Who likes what he sees? Yeah.
look, man, we're doing a live podcast right now in the middle of the beach. People stare at us. People sometimes, like, oh, and sometimes people take pictures of us.
Right. Oh, I mean, my penis is out. I think that may be part of the. I should probably. Sorry.
I'll tuck it back in.
I'll tuck.
That's just the reality of what it is. So you can't like take offense to something like that,
Yeah,
right?
it's primal, like you said. We're just biologically wired that way, and again, like you said, if you're gonna have them out there, people are gonna look. Like you can't have it both ways, like. And if like you said, if you're getting fake boobs, there's a reason for it. You can't be like, look, you want to show them off. You can't get like, why are you getting upset? That's what you paid for. As everyone's looking at I got this red Camaro and it's brand new, and everyone's looking at me when I drive down the freeway. It's like, well, because you got the red Camaro.
Oh man, but switching from boobs to ass, right? Some of these fucking asses are ridiculous, man.
Like the Kim Kardashian kind of thing.
Yeah,
or like,
but not in a good way though.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. No, I do like a good butt. My wife has she's just got a fantastic ass. You're welcome. She does. Like she I'm surprised she isn't dating a black guy. I am from Houston, so I definitely have that flavor in me. But she's got it going on. I do. I love a good ass. There's nothing worse than a flat ass, though. It's just like, shunk. There's just nothing to work with. But then sometimes it's like, it's too much. It's too much.
It's just like they're not deformed. They're deformed. They're like, and then you see some of them that like they have some are implants and some are injections, right? But there's like, it looks like they're wearing diapers. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I don't know what the obsession is with that. Like again, it's like, then you can't get upset if someone's going to start looking at your butt. She's like, stop looking at my ass. It's like, well, you filled it up. You put it out there for everyone to see. Stop getting mad at me.
I was at a convention, a comic book convention, and there was this girl who dressed up as a, I don't know what the hell she was dressed up, Poison Ivy or fucking Harley Quinn or some shit. And I was looking at my phone, and she walks up to me. She goes, "Can you stop taking pictures of my ass?" And I was like, "I'm looking at my phone, like you moron." Like, it's like I'm looking at stuff that I'm recording.
Little full of herself to assume.
And then I go, and by the way, it's not that great to look at. And I go, and in case you don't know, I could see it whenever the fuck I want. I just go to these websites. And I go, and I watch it all for free.
Yeah. I don't need to get my show here. I can.
Yeah, and then she looked at me like, what the fuck? And it's like reality check, man. It's like.
She was upset because she lost another OnlyFan,
Man, and that's another thing, man. You know how many people are on OnlyFans making all this tons of money, man?
Dude, I'm in the wrong business, man. I'm going to start showing off my feet or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I was thinking about the exact same thing,
man. Yeah. I mean, I try not to pick my toes that much anymore.
Look at
but
those bad boys right
there.
No,
I got like no pinky toe.
We could let me see.
Or no pinky toenail because I just
Yeah,
I pick it off.
But that could be your thing.
Awful, disgusting.
That could be your thing, like
Yeah.
somebody.
Oh, they can watch me pick my toes.
Yeah, and then like
Dude.
like right now we could
All right,
just
here
throw.
we go. Let's do a test run. No,
It was like, oh, did you see?
this is going to be your #1 rated podcast.
Be like, he had sand on his toes. That's that just did it for me.
Ooh, girl. Oh man, yeah. I have a habit of stubbing my toe though all the time, and like,
You walk barefoot a lot.
yeah. I'm walking around the house and stuff. Just like, I don't know, things just love to get in my way, and then I like to just slam my pinky toe right into the corner of a table. It's fun. It feels good.
Oh man,
Makes you feel alive.
I hate that. And they say if you break your toes, there's nothing they could do for it, right?
No, I did. I actually broke. I think it was this one. This one I broke. I did something to it. I ran straight into the door, and it was definitely broken. And you just have to tape it together and hobble around like a.
Does it heal crooked or does it straighten
If
itself
you don't, it was. I think I got okay. I did all right, but I know a buddy who, his toe is crooked, so it just depends on how you set it, because you can't really. There's nothing you can do. It's just you go to the doctor. They'd be like, "Well, we'll put a split on it, tape it to each other." So I just did it myself and saved $1,000. So.
Damn, I think one time I was what do you call that when you paddle boarding when you standing on that big surfboard?
Yeah, paddleboard.
Man,
Were you the second paddleboarder out in Obama's Martha's Vineyard? It was you, wasn't it?
Nah, man. Well, what's behind that story?
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
No.
Yeah, apparently Obama's personal chef died paddleboarding outside of his house a couple weeks ago. And,
No.
yeah. It's like you can't talk about it.
Oh, okay.
We won't go there.
Okay.
Let's leave that alone.
Yeah,
but paddleboarding.
Back to water sports. Man, I'm fine doing it on the knees, right? And it feels like so cool when you're like in the water. But then they're like, "Now stand up, fat ass," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna stand up, right?" Man, I guess I'm too heavy for that thing.
It started to sink. Or
no, it wasn't sinking, man. But the thing is, you try to stand up and it just rocks back and forth. Man, I ate it, and I put my hand, and it hyperextended my thing.
Yeah.
It was like even. No, it doesn't hurt, but like I could kind of.
Dude, when I pain stuff like that, I get the heebie-jeebies, man. You can't tell me about it. So, no, I'm kidding. But that's painful, dude. Like, yeah, it's and it's funny because you're like, this is the worst pain in the world. You're like, no, I think I can probably imagine worse. So you feel like kind of like a little punk saying that, like, my toe, my pinky toe. But it's like some dude was like shot in the neck, like bleeding out. You're like, all right, I think I can maybe handle my paper cut. I'll be all right.
Man, well, I guess we're not used to pain, man. Hey, listen, man, if I could live the rest of my life without feeling pain ever again, man, that would be
nice.
That would be nice.
Yeah. But then you'd be a sociopath.
A sociopath.
Yeah, they don't feel anything.
They don't.
No, I guess they feel physical pain, but they don't feel emotional pain. Emotional pain. But physical pain's different. Yeah, that would be a nice superpower to have. Yeah, like kick ass, right?
He didn't feel no pain?
Yeah, I think that was his thing. He didn't feel pain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't watch it, but I think that also could work against you, right? Because I think there was a kid who was he didn't feel pain or something about his lower, and his puppy ate his fucking toes off, and he didn't feel it, and then like the dad walked up, and goes, "Hey, your fucking toes are missing." So, and it was like a little like Shih Tzu dog, and they ended up like fucking killing the dog, man.
That's pretty disgusting.
Forget when or what, but I remember seeing it. I'm like,
because you leave your hand on your stove. You're just like burning up. Your hands on the stove. You're like having a full conversation, and like, you have third-degree burns.
It like smells like bacon.
Yeah,
and it's like,
what's that smell? It's like,
that's you, buddy. That's you.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm a baby. My wife would agree that I'm a baby when it comes to pain.
When it comes to pain.
Yeah. I don't. I just whine and complain about it, like make a big deal out of it, get as dramatic as I possibly can, and then she tells me to stop being such a fucking baby, and then that's the end of it.
And that's the end of it.
Yeah, sort of. Well, for 5 minutes, and then I complain again.
Do you watch sports at all?
No, not really. You know, we kind of watch a lot of baseball. My son plays baseball, so he's kind of got me into the sport. I enjoy watching the Angels, and I'm from Houston, so I'm a trash Stros fan. Sorry guys, I gotta stick with them. They're my home team. But yeah, I like baseball, and I used to love football. I was a huge Houston Oilers fan until they moved to Tennessee and broke my heart. Warren Moon. You remember Warren Moon? I'm dating myself now. Yeah, I loved football. I loved the NFL. I was super into it, but now not so much. I don't even watch that much TV as much as I used to. It's just because I'm just tired at the end of the day.
The reason why I bring it up is because I saw a couple of days ago a post on Instagram where there was a 49er fan. Let me rephrase this: 49er fans and Raider fans. And I believe in an In-N-Out, might have in Las Vegas. I believe. I think it's like the only one there, right?
Yeah.
They got into the most craziest
Like a
fist
brawl?
fight. Yeah, I don't know if you saw it.
I didn't.
Okay, and then
I can imagine
think,
though.
Yeah, and then one of them pulled out a sharp object. Right? I don't know what it was. I could make an assumption of maybe what it was, and stabbed the other guy. And I was like,
It's just
what
a game,
the
man.
fuck, bro? Yeah, it's
a
like
game. You didn't do anything. You just sat there and watched. You know, I love how they just like pretend like they're involved. And I mean, it's great to be a fan, but yeah, you're not contributing at all. You just watch it and enjoy it.
It's like I love my team so much that if I see a rival teammate, then I'm gonna have to say, "Oh, your team sucks," and then we're gonna have to end up fighting because
dude, it's like back to that tribal primal thing. You know, we are tribal. We're tribalistic. We like to stick to our own groups and even European football or European soccer, man, it's the same thing, man. They get crazy, man. Like it's weird, like to have that much ownership and pride and possession over something that you don't really have. It's like a fake connection, but I get it, but also I don't get it. You know, it's like it's primal. That's all it is.
Yeah, I would always when I would be very invested into teams, I would go out, spend a whole bunch of money, going to bars and whatnot, and then the team would lose or whatever, right? But I watched that movie. It's called Bronx Tale.
Yeah, I love that movie, dude.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
I could just watch it all day, man.
Yeah.
It's got so many different levels and stuff. But I love that part where Sonny tells the kid Colosio, he tells him, "Oh, you're a Yankee fan." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "He made what's his name cry, right? Mickey Mantle cry, right?" He goes, "What do you care about Mickey Mantle? He doesn't care about you." He's like, "If your dad needed money paying the rent,
right?
Like
he's
what,
not gonna help.
Yeah,
you,
what does he care?" And then it's like everything like clicked, right? And I was like. And I go, you know what? Sports is a big fucking waste of time. I mean, I watch combat sports, right?
Sure,
and boxing.
Sure.
Yeah, but I'm not going to go out of my way to...
Yeah, it's entertainment, and that's all it should be. Yeah, if it becomes more than that, it's a little bit pathological at some point, And, root for your team and have fun and strive to win, but don't stab a guy.
It's not worth you going to jail, but...
It's not. It's not worth it. But yeah, I love that Bronx Tale, dude. You're the first person that's brought that movie up ever. I love that movie. That movie kind of got me into wanting to be an actor and do, all that, be in the movies and turn my love on for Hollywood and all that kind of stuff. That is a great movie. I always think it too. He's like, would you rather be loved or feared? And he's like, feared.
That's the age-old question, man. The person who wrote that,
Chaz Palminteri, right?
Yeah, Chaz. Yeah, he wrote it. He started as Sonny, right?
Right.
And he has his own podcast.
He does,
and it's a very good podcast, man.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I think he also does the voice. Does he also do the voice of the gangster on The Simpsons, or is that somebody? That may be somebody else. That may be somebody else. Chaz Palminteri, and I think De Niro actually directed that movie. Yeah.
There's so many different things behind that movie, and I think Chaz also has a Bronx Tale, not a musical,
yeah,
a
Broadway show.
I
heard about that.
It's like a one-man thing, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, how do you do a one-man thing when you're playing like the kid,
Yeah.
you know, Sonny and the dad. I'm like, how the hell does he do it?
Yeah, that's a great movie. And then Joe Pesci makes a cameo in the end. You know,
He
like,
does. Oh wow.
dude. Yeah,
Oh,
right?
in the movie.
In
I
the
thought in the play. No,
no. In the movie.
Yeah.
In the movie. But yeah, I'd be curious to check out the Broadway show for sure. Like, I love that movie. That movie stuck with me. I love the music too in it. All the doo-wop that's going on, and you know what I learned. You know, one thing that stuck with me from that movie is he's like you take your girl out, you open the door for her, you close the door, you walk around. If she doesn't lean over and unlock your door for you, dump her fast. She's not worth your time. She's a dumb broad. I lived. That was like kind of my criteria for when I would, because I was chivalrous too. You know, like when I met my wife, I would open the door for her and all that stuff, and sure as shit, she'd unlock the door for me. I'm like, all right, she's a keeper. You know, like.
But you know what? A lot of women watch that movie too, and then I did it right, and then this girl, she must have watched that movie too, because she reached on over, she picked up the door, and
She locked it.
No, no, she opened the door, unlocked it, and I was like, oh man, she's a keeper, right? I'm like, she was the biggest whore.
So she's like, I know this. I know the trick.
She knew the
I'm
trick.
gonna fool this motherfucker.
She
right
knew
here.
the trick, man.
Yeah.
Turns out she was sleeping with everybody,
Oh,
and I was like, damn.
Yeah, she's opened a lot of car doors.
Yeah, a lot of car doors. Yeah, that's right.
She's been in a lot of back seats.
She knew how to work her way in the front seat and the back seat.
Yeah, she's been around that steering wheel. You know what I mean?
So, well, once I saw that, I was like, Sonny, you let me down. Like, you know, now all them hoes know the secret.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. She must have. She's that's a smart girl though.
Yeah, she was pretty smart. Yeah,
Yeah.
but she would always get caught. Like, yeah, she was like fucking everybody in the company, man. And then it's like, and she didn't think she was gonna get caught. I was like, what? And I was like, oh man, when I go, I guess I'm okay that I got number one in the company. And then afterwards, she like started going through everybody, and I was like,
yeah, but I was the first. That was the OG.
I was the first one.
None of that sloppy seconds. No, thank you.
And then she walks up to me, right? She goes, JR, I'm pregnant. And I'm all like, congratulations. And then she's all like, that's all you're going to say? And I go, bitch, I know it ain't mine. I'm like, I haven't fucked you in 3 months. And then she's like, oh,
shit,
okay.
yeah, shit. She's like, I maybe have you mixed up with someone else. Shit. Is he here? Did he clock in today? Is he here?
And I'm all like, yeah, girl, I know what your problem is. And I'm all like, you have so many dudes here, you don't know who the dad is.
She's gonna have to go on Maury Povich, you know, but then you get to do the dance, the excited dance when you are not the father. You got to be like, oh shit! You do like the shuffle.
I
you know
used
what I
to
mean?
love it when and then the dudes start doing the robot.
Yeah. And then the woman runs out and they follow her with the camera. That was always
man,
the best.
that
you know?
used
like,
to be the best,
just
man.
to like capture all that trauma. Like, no, we want to see this shit. Like,
Is Maury still around? Do they still have it?
No, I don't think so.
No?
Is he? I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think anybody's around. It was for me. It was like growing up. It was Springer, Sally, Jesse, Raphael, Montel Williams.
Yeah.
You know, and Maury. That was Donahue. Donahue was also around.
Donahue was before my time.
Yeah, he didn't get too crazy with the clickbait, so to speak. But yeah, those were good times, man. Jerry Springer. Dude.
I don't know if this is true, but I think Jerry did like the ultimate, like not prank, but like actual. You know, did you know that he had illegitimate kids or something?
I think I heard that. Yeah.
And then he would tell his kids, make your own money, don't rely on me, because when I pass away, I'm not gonna like leave you anything. And they're like, yeah, whatever. And then when he did pass away on a video wheel, he said, I leave all my money to the illegitimate kids that I never got to spend any time with.
Wow.
And to my real kids, you should have paid attention or something like that.
Shit.
And I was like, damn, that was like the coldest Jerry Springer, man.
Yeah. I don't think he certainly didn't care about exploiting people's drama. But yeah, I don't know. That's on one hand, I can respect not just giving your kids everything and making them work for it, you know, so they have an appreciation. But at the same time, like when you become a father, you want to take care of your kids, you know, so you want to leave them everything. That's a tough one. I don't know.
Maybe he never liked his kids anyway.
Yeah, maybe.
Right?
Like, yeah.
You know. Hey, listen, man. We gotta get going.
All right, yeah.
I enjoyed our time here.
Yeah, it was fun.
Man,
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Man. Thank you for being such a great guest and bringing a good, interesting conversation.
Hey, thanks,
And we
man.
mixed it up. We talked about so many different topics,
We did.
man.
We solved world problems today. We did. People can
We went from Judaism to religion, even to hoes at work, man. Look
Hoes
at
at work.
Look at that big dynamic.
Yeah. Manifesting. We're gonna manifest. From here
you
on
know
out.
what? Why don't we tell people where to find you so they could check out your comedy?
Yeah. Give me a follow on the gram, Instagram, Danny Nixxon with 2 X's. Because all my exes live in Texas. No, cut that. Danny Nixxon, hit me up on the gram. Maybe give me a follow on YouTube, but you'll be the first one. So you don't want to be the first. Give me a follow on the gram, Danny Nixxon. Let's do that.
Well, there you go. That's the man. Go check out his Instagram, but more importantly, go out and check out his comedy, man. He'll make you laugh, man.
Yeah, support live comedy, man. It's all the rage these days. People are ready for it. People want to laugh. They've been cooped up too long. They want to get out and have some chuckles. So.
All right, and with that said, we're gonna let you go. Make sure to check us out on Spotify, under the What It Is podcast, and all major streaming audio formats. And most definitely check us out here at our home channel on YouTube under the Tacos and Workouts. And we'll see you guys next time.